So these are the assembly of the pop-up cube. There are 2 identical pieces for the cubes. So I've already prepped one of my pieces and I'm going to do the second one the exact same way. I've cut this out of Cricut craft board, so you want a nice sturdy material for this one. And I'm just folding down on all the score lines. So all of your score lines are folded downwards on this panel, with the exception of this panel here. You want this one to be a valley fold, so it folds upwards like a V. Same with this one, valley fold. And then the one in the center with the 2 holes cut out of it, that one forms a V as well. So next I'm going to reinforce the piece that has the 2 holes in it with a piece of vinyl. I'm just laying my piece temporarily flat, sticking that vinyl down so that the 2 holes on my vinyl are directly over the holes in my craft board, like so. And then I'm putting red line tape on the tabs, one here, so another piece at the top. So next I'm just applying my decorative panels. I've got 2 full squares here, and then I have my triangles that go here and there on the top and on the bottom. So I've used a thicker red line tape on my tabs. I'm going to use a thinner strip of red line tape just beyond the score line. I'm just applying it just above the score line, but I don't want anything too close to these 2 holes here and along the other side as well. So now for the assembly of my box. So I've got both my pieces in the same direction. So you've got the full squares here, and then these tabs on the right. So I'm removing the liner of that middle tab, gluing the cut edge of this square right to the score line of my tab, like so. So what I'm using for this is Softest Stretch rubber bands. They are size number 12, measure 1 3/4 inch by 1/16 of an inch. So I've taken 2 of those rubber bands and I'm stretching them over this piece that's on my right. And I'm just sliding them into those 2 holes right in the center. So looks like this. And then I'm taking the liner off the red line tape that's on both sides. I'm pulling my rubber band taut, and what I want to do is I want to fold those 2 edges together. So those 2 pieces of red line tape are on top of one another, and they're holding this piece together like so. So my rubber band is installed in there. Next I'm going to fold my piece over and stretch my rubber band. I'm just pulling it so the rubber bands are actually in those little holes, like so. So I'm removing the backing on my red line tape. So I'm folding this in half on that score line right at that rubber band, like so. I'm just kind of pinching between the rubber band there. So there are my rubber bands. So I'm going to stretch them so that my rubber band is flat. I'm folding back this piece, and then I'm going to fold a triangle in half, bring my tab down flat. I'm going to fold my piece over. That should be right along the score line, like so. I'm going to fold this piece back, taking the liner off the red line tape, folding my tab onto the piece that's on my right hand side, and then folding that down like so. So that creates half of my cube. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So I'm folding my triangle, then folding it back on itself, then folding the tab over. It all fits within that square. I'm going to fold my left side down, and that's going to create my corner like so. Then for the other one, folding my side in, folding my triangle over, folding my tab over, liner off my tab, and then folding my left side down again. That creates the 2 halves. So next I'm going to take the liner off, and I'm just going to join my sides like so. So there's my cube, and then when you flatten it, That's quite the jump. This one was constructed with craft board, all very tight rubber band, and lots of red line tape. I'm going to try to assemble this one, but this time I'm going to use 2 rubber bands that I've tied together. So to tie them together, all I did is I took one, overlapped it over the other one, and then pulled both middles through, like so. I've already decorated my panels. These pieces are going to come together like so, and that completes the image. On the other side, these pieces are going to come together. So basically I've just recreated the image that was there before I cut it apart. I've used 65-pound cardstock for this one, and I have decorated it with patterned cardstock. So there's a lot of stress put on that center score line. So this vinyl is just to make sure that it doesn't tear. So now I'm putting glue on that center tab. So then I'm going to take my rubber band and I'm stretching it over my right hand side. So this is the largest part. This time I'm going to use glue, and I'm just going to put glue just above that vinyl. I don't want any glue on the rubber band. I'm stretching that rubber band nice and taut, and I'm just folding so my score lines are meeting on the right hand side, and this creates that little tab for my rubber band. So now I'm looking at the inside of my box. I'm going to rotate my box, and I'm just stretching my other rubber band over the square at the other end, and then I'm making sure that my rubber band goes into those 2 little holes. I'm putting glue just above that vinyl. I don't want the glue touching my rubber band. I'm folding it so that those score lines meet, and my rubber band is in the fold, like so. Now I'm stretching my piece open so my rubber band's really stretched out. So now I'm going to fold this panel down, fold at that score line, and then I'm going to fold down on the tab so everything fits within that square. Then I'm going to put glue on my tab, and then I'm going to glue it down to the panel that's beside it on the left. And I'm just waiting for that glue to take. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the panel that's across from it, folding it down onto the square that's on my right, folding that triangular piece on top of it, and then the tab on top of it. I'm putting glue on that tab, folding everything into place, and collapsing my box. So it's going to have a propensity to want to pull over because of that rubber band. So next I'm going to work on the next triangle. So I'm bringing it down, folding it over, bringing the tab down, and then I'm putting glue all over the tab. And then I'm bringing the panel on the left downwards like so, and again spreading the glue, waiting for it to take. So next I have the one remaining panel. I'm folding it into my box, folding the triangle down, folding the tab over, and putting glue all over that tab, and folding the panel on my left side down. So next I have that one tab left. I'm putting glue all over it, and then I'm going to collapse my box down. So there's my cube, and then when you fold it flat, it bounces up. So this is craft board with 2 small rubber bands and red line tape, and this is 65-pound cardstock with extended rubber bands and nothing but glue. Let's just compare the bounce. So obviously they both have a certain amount of bounce to them. After experimenting with all sorts of boxes using different materials, I settled on 80-pound cardstock with patterned cardstock on top, and I've made 4 boxes. So now I'm going to create the box that I'm putting my boxes inside. I'm just folding down on all the score lines. So next I'm putting glue on one of the tabs that's towards the center of my shape. So I'm bringing the side up, I'm bringing the lid up. So I want that cut edge of that center piece to be right against the score line of my tab. And then I'm going to do that with the tab that's on the other side as well. Just putting glue on it and bringing it over, creating a corner by bringing my lid piece up towards that tab. So next I'm going to do that with the tabs that are at the front of my box, putting glue on the tab, raising that front panel up to the side. The cut edge is right against the score line of my tab. I'm doing that on the second tab at the front as well. I'm just folding the lid out of the way. So I have these flaps on the 3 sides of the base of my box. Just putting glue on them and then folding them inwards and then spreading the glue with my bone fold. And I'm doing that with all 3 sides. And then I'm going to glue down the tabs on my lid. So I'm just putting glue on the tab and gluing it to that front flap. Same thing on the other one. That creates my little lidded box. I've cut 2 pieces of foil craft board. One of them slightly larger than the other one. I'm going to glue the larger one down to the base of my box. Then I have a decorative panel for the smaller one. I'm going to glue the decorative panel to it. Next, I'm gluing the decorated panel to the top of my box. So now I'm just flattening my boxes. Going to put them inside my box. I'm closing the box. So then, when you open it, next I'm going to create the belly band that's going to go around my box, and I've also added a sentiment to it. I have this long strip, and I'm just going to wrap it around so that the join is at the top. Now I want it wrapped around, but I don't want it too tight. I'm just putting a little bit of glue and stuck that together like so. See, and it still comes off quite easily. I'm putting glue all over that band, trying to center everything as much as possible. So it all fits into the box, but once I remove the belly band,